Hello everyone. Today we are going to be debugging JavaScript for the first time on FreeCodeCamp, and we'll be using a small project of background color changer to learn this thing. This is the project background color changer. If I click on the change background color, the hex code changes and the background color changes. So this has some functionality of JavaScript linked with the CSS of the page. That's it. So we have the first step, which is Camperbot is trying to build out a random background color changer, but they keep running into issues and need your help to debug the code. Camperbot has already added the HTML and CSS for the project, but they are confused as to why none of the styles and content is showing up on the page. When they open up the console, they see this error. So if I open up the console, here's the error that's written right here. Syntax error, unknown expected unexpected token expected at 5.2. Syntax error are thrown when JavaScript engine encounters something it can't interpret. So in this case, it looks like Camperbot has syntax errors in the dark dark colors array. Okay. Fix the syntax error in the dark colors array, and you should see the content and styles show up on the page. So the error is pretty simple, as I can see. There are commas missing right here, so we'll have to do. It says the error is from 5 is to 2. So from line 5 to 2 the problem is. So line 5 because you didn't place the comma right here. So we'll have comma right here, comma, then we have comma, and now we have no errors and the code is starting to show. But the button of color changing button, that button is still not working. So we'll fix that. So now Camperbot is trying to create a function that will return a random index from the dark colors array. Okay, but they have run into following error message. So if I open the console, I can see got reference error. Math is not defined. Reference error is thrown when a non-existent variable is referenced. Okay. In this case, it looks like Camperbot is trying to use math, but JavaScript doesn't have a math object. To fix the Camperbot's error in the math random line and open up the console again. So we have the function. This is the thing. So very simple. We'll have to just put a create a math object, right? So math is an object, right? So we will type math, and here we have. Okay, I clearly have forgotten how to use objects, so I'm gonna search how to declare objects in JavaScript. So let math equals new math. Okay, dark colors array in itself is a object as I can see. So math should also be a constant, should it? You should fix the capitalization error in the math, okay? In the JavaScript, we have a dark color, get random index. Uh, Math is not something that's there. But it says you should fix the capitalization error in the math dot random. Should it be capital? Is it a function? Yes, it's a function. It's not a variable. Okay. Now that the reference error is resolved, let me open up what error. The console is displaying the correct results for a random variable 0 to 9, but Camperbot was not expecting to see decimal numbers like these. So update the console statement to print a whole number between 0 to 9. Remember that you worked with a method in the role-playing game that rounds the number down to the nearest whole numbers. Yes, it's called uh, math dot. Uh, I forgot. It's called float or something. No, it's called ah. mm, Return nearest whole number. Round. Round. I did. Did that. What's the problem? Um, math dot round. Still have the same issues, even though I'm getting the correct results as well. We use floor. I'm using round. That's the only problem. Yeah, we're using the wrong function. Okay, let this advertisement go away. So Camperbot is finished with building out the get random index function and it is working as expected. Is it? It's not. But now they have, let me open the console first. We still have a little. Now they are running into this issue when trying to create a reference to the body element in the DOM. So uncut type error, documented query selector is not a function. Okay. A type error means that the code is trying to perform an operation on a value that is not of the expected type. So fix the type error by updating the document query selector method to the correct method name that selects as element from the DOM. So I think the problem is the spelling. I think selector, the S is capital. Yes, correct. Now we have some more errors. It says null. So Camperbot has created a new variable called bg hex code element. So yes, we have created a new variable and to store the reference to the span element with the ID of bg hex code. However, when they try to log that variable to the console, they get null. Yes, they are trying to log the variable. It says null. So null is a special value in JavaScript that represents the absence of value. This can happen when you try to access a property of an object that does not exist. In this case, Camperbot is not passing in the correct selector to the document correct selector method. Fix the document quality selector beta line so that it selects. So it's very simple. It is an ID and we are selecting it like a HTML HTML element. Sorry, this is an ID. So if I open the CSS, it says BG hex code. So let me go find the BG hex code. What do we have it here? Basically, it's an ID now. So we can just put the ID selector, which is dot selector. Uh, sorry, hash. Is it hash? Yes, it's hash. So I can close the HTML and uses. We have the hash selector and it's correct. Camperbot has now created a function called change background color that changes the background color of the page to a random color from the dark colors array. We have now a function called change background color. It takes a constant, declares a variable, dark color, and takes the get random index function as a array element. Okay, calls this thing and then calls this function to select the color. Okay. VGX code span element dot inner text is color. So we are changing this text right here, and code style background color, we are changing the color. Okay, so we'll open the console. So when they try to test out this function, they notice that the background color is not changing and text shows the following. Xcode is undefined. So if I click, it says undefined. Basically, undefined is shown up because the color variable is not being set correctly. So this color variable is not being correctly. Fix the error in the this function line so that the color variable is set to random color from the array. So all you have to do is, I think the function is being called, but the function is not being called on a is not taking a variable basically. So get random index. This is this. So we are not declaring the function correctly. It should have a bracket, and now this should work properly. Camperbot is trying to create a new variable called btn, yes, to store the reference to the button element with ID of click button. Okay, so yeah. However, when they try to lock the button, let me open the console first. Lock the button, it says null. Okay, open the index.html to see the correct ID name for that button element. So the button element is wrong. So it's to store the button reference. So we'll find the button here. This is the button. ID is btn, and yeah, its ID is btn, not click button. So if I just move this, this should work, and it does. Now if I click, the color is still not changing though. So there is some error. So camper bot is finished. Is it changing now? Is it's still not changing? Camper bot has finished building out the random background color changer. However, when they click the button, the background color does not change. So it looks like they are trying to use the on click property, but they are using it incorrectly. So button on click equal to this. Okay. The on click property should be assigned a function reference. Okay. So fix the error in the btn is this code. Remember that you worked with on-click property in the role-playing game project. Look back at the final solution to see how on-click property was used. Okay. Once you fix the final bug, the random background color should change. So this function is being called out. I think the function does not need, yeah, it doesn't need to be called out like a function. And we have fixed it, I guess. Yes, we have fixed it. So the challenge is done. That's about it. That was the only debugging challenge, and it was very short challenge, and thankfully we were able to do. So that's it for this lesson. It's very short lesson. I'll next up we have. Let me see what we have now. Next up, so this debugging challenge has been done. Next up is we have learned from validating form validation by building up calorie counters. Sometimes when we are coding, so we are doing this. So fine, we'll do it in the next session. I will end the session so that people, whoever is following, they can follow one by one. I'll end this stream and restart again. Thank you for tuning in. This was Dibakar signing off for now.